Just before Jesus went to the cross, he gathered with his disciples for a very significant conversation that took place during the Last Supper. This was the night he would be betrayed by Judas and arrested. This was the night he spoke his last words to the disciples before the crucifixion, and it was no doubt very tender and emotional. I'm sure you've had conversations with your loved ones that are so significant, you remember them forever. John, one of the disciples present, wrote about the Last Supper in his gospel, and you can tell that it was perhaps the most impactful evening of his life. He devoted 4 chapters in the book of John to this one event, and he often referred back to these words of Jesus in the letters that he wrote to the churches many decades later. What Jesus said on that night marked John forever. Dear children, I will be with you only a little longer. And as I told the Jewish leaders, you will search for me, but you can't come where I'm going. Jesus was going away, and his disciples wouldn't see him for a while. He knew what was about to happen. He was going to his death on the cross, and he would be arrested in a matter of hours. So these words are like his last words. As we all know from the movies, last words are important. Picture a scene in which somebody utters their last words before their final breath, and everybody leans in to hear, "Tell my wife I love her," or "The treasure map is in the..." And hopefully, they get those final words out. Similarly, when Jesus says these words, his disciples were surely leaning in to hear what he would say. And here is what he said. "So now, I'm giving you a new commandment." This new commandment would be like his final marching orders. The way Jesus words it in Greek, the original language of the New Testament, highlights the dramatic effect. The Greek word he uses for new is not the normal word for new. Instead, it means novel, a completely new, never before heard command. Jesus also changed the standard sentence order to emphasize the phrase, new command. Whatever this completely new command was, it was really big. So every disciple was leaning in, couldn't wait to hear it. "So now I'm giving you a new commandment. Love each other. Just as I have loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you're my disciples." What? That's the big new command? Love each other? That's it? The new thing wasn't even new. If Jesus had said everyone get a tattoo, at least that would be new. Or even something like wear #blessed t-shirts. Instead, he did this big build-up about a completely new command and then said, love each other. That had to be a buzzkill. We know it was a letdown by their response. Peter simply ignored it and focused on what Jesus said about going somewhere they couldn't follow. The Old Testament commanded love of neighbor, and Jesus had already identified love as the essence of the Old Testament law. Jesus had already given the golden rule, treat other people the way you want to be treated. He also already said that the command to love others even includes loving one's enemies. So what was so new about the commandment to love each other? Well, the new part was what Jesus added after he said, love each other. He said, just as I have loved you, you should love each other. That's the different part. He brought the command to a whole new level. Love each other the same way Jesus loves us.